Okay. Hey everyone, welcome to the Our Anime Podcast. I'm a dude, he's a Smurf, he's a he's a base Becker, and this guy's an anal chasm. Introduce yourself, guys.
Hey everyone, my name's Dylan, but you may know me as Anarchism or Anal Chasm.
My name's Based Becker or Based Pecker on Our Anime. What's up?
My name's SmurfRockRune, but all of my friends and enemies just call me Smurf.
Hey, I'm random dude, man. None of you know me, so whatever. Just pay attention to the other guys. So our topic for the Our Anime Podcast today is the casual shows in anime. We want to talk about, why are they so popular? Why did they become popular? Who cares if they're popular? Why are they so shit, though, if they're popular? It's important questions like this. Like, I gotta know. So, guys, what popular anime have you seen? Starting with you, Smurf.
I started watching anime with Attack on Titan. I heard people talk about how it was the greatest show ever, so I decided to give it a shot, and I really enjoyed it. And it got me to look for other anime like Sword Art.
What about you, Becker?
I started with Fullmetal Alchemist Brotherhood. I remember watching it on Adult Swim a couple of years ago, and I was like, oh, and for some reason the thought of Fullmetal Alchemist Brotherhood popped into my head one day. And I was like, oh, I should totally watch that show, because I remember really liking it when I watched bits and pieces of it on Adult Swim. And now I'm watching anime.
Oh, I see you've completed your transformation into a weeb. Good job.
Yes.
Good job. What about you, Dylan?
So mine started back when I was playing Osu, and it had the Sword Art Online background, so I was like, what's that from? So I went online, checked it out, and I watched it all in, I stayed up till 5 o'clock in the morning before school, and I just watched it. I finished it the next day and watched it another 4 times that week.
Wow.
So I think I had the shittest taste out of everyone.
Dude, get a life.
That's
get a life.
That's what basically got me into it.
Okay. As for me, I watched Attack on Titan 2. My friend was like, "Oh, this is the best anime ever. You gotta see it. It's so crazy and people die and stuff." And I was like, "Okay, sure." It was pretty good. I got really into it though, more than I'd like to admit for anything. Looking back on it, I kind of was like, "Wow, I like this shit."
It's okay,
I mean, it's okay, but your tastes change after a while, which kind of sucks. Because I look at it, and I'm like, remember when I liked it? Yeah, it was good times.
I still like it.
Oh.
I remember when I first started watching it, at the opening shot of all of the scouts going through the forest, I remember thinking it's like, this is definitely an anime. Like, this is what I would imagine an anime would look like. And it's kind of weird, but I'll give it a shot anyway. And even to this day, I'm still caught up on the manga, and I still like watching it, even if it's not the best thing out there.
Dude, hold on. Can I just interject? Like, you said this is what anime looks like, and I wonder, how do you feel when you realize that actually most anime is focused on high school kids and their supernatural problems, or maybe not so supernatural problems, like just like regular shit that they get over dramatic about and stuff. They're like, "Oh my god, this girl doesn't like me. Damn it."
Well,
why?
I mean, I have shit taste, and I just watch shonen anyway, so it didn't really make much of a difference to me.
Don't worry, Smurf. We don't judge, except when we do. So,
right.
Just don't worry.
Low-key judging you right now, anyway.
Yeah.
What about with did you guys find that when you were watching the show, like you caught up in it and it's the hypest shit ever for like Attack on Titan, for instance? But then when you look back, it's like, yeah, I mean, it wasn't that good.
It depends. Again, I mentioned that like your tastes change over time, and you might be able to see more flaws in your shows. Like maybe nostalgia might
cloud your memory.
Cloud your memory basically.
I mean, I have Dragon Ball Z.
Dragon Ball Z was dude, as a kid, that was like the hypest shit ever. Like, you go into the episode, it's like, oh my god, he's gonna fight Frieza. Oh, this Goku, take my energy.
I remember begging my mom to let me stay up, because there was a point where they moved Dragon Ball Z onto something they called Midnight Run, which started at midnight. I remember begging my mom to let me stay up and watch the finale of the fight against Cell.
Oh my god,
I was so hyped to watch it.
Oh my god, that'd actually be pretty cool. I was watching it in my basement. Yeah, but it was still pretty fun. Don't judge me for being a basement dweller, guys. Just saying. Okay, let's talk about why are these shows popular. I mean, we look back on it and we're like, oh god, why is this shit so popular? But I mean, there must be merits to it. There must be something to it. I can't just be us being all cynical and stuff. Like, let's look at the top anime on Mal. Like, okay, Sword Art Online. What do you guys think of it?
I think Sword Art Online has a certain hook to it. I mean,
its concept is very easy to get into.
It's
right.
It's how many people play games. It automatically appeals to the people that play games.
Everyone likes video games, and everyone has thought about how cool it would be to be in a video game.
Like, dude, what if we were trapped in a video game, and if you died in the game, you died in real life? Holy fucking shit.
Dude, that's some next level, like, stories shit, man. I don't even know. How does freaking Nippon come up with this stuff? God. Don't even. I think it's actually executes a lot of things pretty well. We tend to forget the fact that well-animated series have their own reason for being sorry, I need to say this properly. Like, it has good production quality, specifically. Right. And when something looks nice, you're more inclined to watch it.
Exactly.
So.
Exactly. I know Ping Pong gets a lot of flack for its animation style, and I'd have a hard time imagining that a first time
if it looked like
watcher
anything else, would it be like...
Yeah, I have a hard time imagining a first time watcher would see something like Ping Pong and go, oh yeah, I'll watch this. Or they might just think, that doesn't look good, so it's probably not good.
Dude, if Ping Pong was the same story, but with cute anime moe girls, dude, like, best anime of all time.
Yeah.
Like, I'm just telling you right now, like, why don't they hire me in Japan? God, I'm missing out.
I'm pretty sure it looks like it does because they hired me in Japan.
Okay. What about you, Dylan? What are your thoughts about, let's say, for Attack on Titan? Why do you think that's popular?
Well, you know, we're kind of, like, in real life, we're the top of the food chain. Attack on Titan introduces this, you know, this threat that's greater than us, you know? So it throws you into this high octane, not really adventure, more like high octane action series.
It's very intense.
And it's about the survival and struggle of humanity, and it's just, you know, it's just gripping, really.
Mm.
Right. And I know a lot of other stuff, not even just anime, something about a story where something larger, not necessarily physically larger, but larger than us shows up and is just a huge threat all of a sudden. That seems to be a common theme even in Western media, and so I think when you have a theme that's common in Western media show up in an anime, that's a pretty good way to get Western audiences to be interested because it's something they're familiar with.
Mm-hmm.
Mm. Oh, speaking for at least Attack on Titan and Western audiences, I think the music is actually pretty important.
It's a very, very, like, I would hear, like, that music in, say, like, a Hollywood, like, blockbuster action film or something.
That's actually the specific composing style of the guy who made the music for Attack on Titan. Yeah. He said in an interview, I can't cite this obviously, but he said that he takes his inspiration from Hollywood sound or music. Right, okay. And that's why he has the same sort of booming themes, really heavy brass, like choral. God damn it, what's the right word for the people who sing, who join an orchestra and singing? Guys, come on! Damn it.
Like a
choir. Yeah. Like,
there we go.
But yeah, it's very reminiscent of Western music, which is kind of important for its popularity, I think. Like, how many times can you say that you've heard the Attack on Titan theme song? Like, just in general.
Many times.
Yeah, it's everywhere.
That was actually one of
people
the
love it.
reasons that I started it. One of the first things I heard about Attack on Titan, I was at a convention, and there were some people in line in front of me talking about Attack on Titan. And this is while it was still airing. I think it was at 6 or 7 episodes at the time. And the guy was talking about how the animation is so intense, and the music, like the opening song, is like one of the coolest songs he's ever heard, and one of the highlights of the show. So when I actually got to the opening, I was already pretty hyped to hear it, and it kind of met my expectations.
Yeah, I can see that. Like I remember the first exposure to the Attack on Titan theme song that I got was in actually from a Dota 2 video, Nigma's Shittier Digest. Like he'd put a sound clip from Attack on Titan in each of his videos, and people eventually like started memeing like no SNK out of 10. And I was like, oh, why do they do this? This was me before I became a dank memer, by the way, guys. Just a heads up.
Right.
This was a simpler time, guys. This is when I didn't know what Pepe was. I didn't know about Gotta Go Fast. There was dark times. It happened to all of us. But yeah, it was really like interesting to see that in like other media, and I was like, oh, this looks kind of interesting. And then my friends started talking about it, and I was like, oh, maybe I should watch it. And then, I became a weeb. It's terrible, guys.
Right. It is definitely a thing. I think it's an easily recommendable show as well, which I think helps it out a lot.
I think it's one of the 4 series that I'd actually recommend to someone that hasn't seen anime. Yeah. So they don't look at me like I'm a creep.
I have a friend that I talked to on my Xbox, and the only anime he's seen was Attack on Titan because I recommended it to him.
Oh, does he still message you about it? Like getting all hyped about the second season and stuff?
We talk a lot online. I keep him up to date on the manga.
Oh, okay. Dude, has he found the basement yet? Wait, is the basement a spoiler?
It probably will be.
Kinda?
No, I mean like the joke that has he found the basement yet?
Not really.
Man, I hate tagging spoilers when I'm talking, guys. It's so difficult. How do I do this?
I would just stay away from the plot. That was what I would do.
Oh, true. That's a good idea. Oh, let's talk about another really popular series. But let's talk about it in the sense that it's not mainstream popular. Like, for example, Angel Beats. This has like over 500,000 people who put it on their list on Mal, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's not exactly.
It's really popular within the community, is what you're trying to say.
Yeah,
it's one of those really high popular ones that not people outside the community will know. What do you think about that?
Right.
Like, what do you think of the anime?
I personally enjoyed Angel Beats a lot. I had some really good laughs out of it, like with the rocket chairs, for example. And I liked a lot of the episodes. I liked my time watching it, and I actually did tear up at some of the scenes, which I
the
don't
feelsy
ever
scenes.
Do. Yeah, like there are a few in particular that I can think of that I don't usually tear up when I'm watching shows, but Angel Beats kind of got me a little bit, and I think that's kind of part of the appeal of it is that it's not a depressing show, but it will get to you a little bit.
Crying doesn't always mean like depressing. That you can have like tears of happiness and shit.
Yeah, but but what anime will you get where you cry tears of happiness? Come on, guys. It's tragedy or nothing.
Shirobako.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Yeah.
Oh well, Shirobako is different, man.
That's not a
too
mainstream.
Meta.
That's
not mainstream though,
okay.
so that's not appropriate for this podcast.
Yeah, I know, right? I think Angel Beats. I think what it did that allowed it to become so popular was it kind of dabbled a bit in each genre without going too far, and getting to the point where you're expected to really take advantage of the genre's strength. Like it had comedy, it had action, it had sad parts, the feels,
intrigue.
Right,
but
it had some likable characters.
Yeah,
as well.
But I think there wasn't. Like personally, I don't think there was a large amount of depth in any of those like genres that it covered. But the fact that I managed to cover a lot and do it a decent, like a solid job of that was probably why it became really popular. I mean, people cry about how It needs more episodes and stuff.
It's
Because of
rushed.
that.
Too core.
But I think because it's short and they tried to do a lot in a little bit of time, it ended up being more popular with a lot of people. I mean,
Yeah, and I mean,
that's what I think.
it obviously succeeded too.
Yeah, maybe people who don't mind so much about character development, or people that aren't necessarily critiquing the anime but just enjoying it.
Mhm.
Yeah. I think that. Oh, you brought up a good point about just people enjoying the anime and not critiquing it. Because a lot of people nowadays, within the anime community, they'll like watch a show and they'll be like, "Oh, this show is shit," and I could tell you why, exactly why, and this because I looked at this character do something, and I was like, "No, that's not right. That's not how his character arc goes. That's stupid. The writers are stupid. I know more than them." And then, like on the flip side, you'd have someone be like, "Oh, it's pretty.
I like it 10 out
I
of 10.
like it." Guys, it made me cry a bit.
She had nice
the
boobies.
Best anime ever. But that's still a valid viewpoint, though, because they're not investing themselves heavily into it. They're trying to enjoy it because it's entertainment to them. If it was worth their time watching, then they'll say it was a good show, right? And
Right.
which is perfectly valid. And I think that's also another thing with these very popular anime. They're really high in their entertainment value. They don't require you to think too hard about what's happening. You can just sit back and enjoy, which is pretty important. I mean, this is at the end of the day entertainment. It's not like it's trying to be a really like artistic piece of work because
Or
they
like
have to make a profit.
thought-provoking. Or...
Yeah, it gets you going, right? It's provocative.
Right. Going back to what you said about Angel Beats possibly being mainstream or popular because of how it touches on a bunch of different genres, I feel the best example of a show that does that would be Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood.
Yeah, that's a good point. It's actually above Angel Beats in popularity, and it's considered to be the top-rated anime
Oh, no.
as well.
Right.
Yeah.
I see a lot of people online complaining about how it's good, but it's not the best.
It's not
And
the...
I
It
always
shouldn't be, like, number one.
Right, and I always try to tell them it's not number one because it's the best in everything. It's number one because it doesn't do anything bad. It just appeals to everybody, and pretty much everybody can find something in Full Metal Alchemist that they enjoy.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I wasn't a big fan of the comedy bits in it.
A lot of
but
people
The
were.
action and the story were pretty good. Yeah, I mean, you can only hear a short joke so many times before you're like, really? We're fucking doing this again?
I feel like I'm one of the few people that actually enjoy like the comedy of Full Metal Alchemist. But then again, it is my favorite anime of all time, so maybe I might be a little bit biased. Just a little bit.
Dude, it's Full Metal Alchemist is your favorite anime of all time? Freaking shit taste. Why are you even here, man? Get out.
Oh yeah, just
You're
let me.
not
I'll
allowed
just-
to be
just-
on our anime anymore.
I thought this podcast was for the
Oh,
elite
yeah.
tasters.
Yeah.
Sorry guys, I'm
It's
just
only-
gonna
you gotta
leave, guys. Yeah, Bobby.
Wait, I thought we were being completely sarcastic about everything here. I thought we were
Really?
ironically praising mainstream anime.
I'm sorry.
we-
Crap. Fuck. I forgot
we-
what we're doing now. Let's move on,
Oh.
guys. This
Okay.
is too hard for my brain. So what about how these popular anime affect other people's perception of anime? Because most people if you go out in the random street and ask a guy, "What do you think of anime?" They'll probably remember, one or two shows. They'll know what those Naruto,
Dragon Ball Z.
Bleach,
Or Death
Dragon Ball
Note
Z.
or
That's what
something.
they think of when they think of anime, or even maybe Attack on Titan too. Now that it's getting to that big deal, it's becoming such a big deal, or Sword Art Online. And
Right.
the question is, if that's all they know about and they never watched it, what does that represent for the medium? Maybe they think like, oh, it's actually pretty crappy if that's all there is to it. What do
Right.
you guys
Well,
think?
that's where if your first impression is somewhat important. So because these are the mainstream shows, they're the ones getting broadcast in Western countries and whatnot. So that's going to be more likely than not someone's first exposure to the medium. So, that's where they're going to form their first opinion on it if they haven't heard about it before, for instance.
Right.
So,
I know multiple people in real life who I mentioned that when I was first getting into anime, I said, "Hey, I'm starting to get into anime. It's pretty cool." And they just look at me. They're like, "How can you like like Naruto. Like it's like, well, I don't watch Naruto, but that's what a lot of people just think anime is. They think it's just all Naruto or all schoolgirls.
I kind of feel bad for people who they only know about like Naruto, Sword Art Online, and Attack on Titan, those types of anime, because it's not very representative of the medium in general. Especially because all these are, action shows that are pretty, intense and stuff. I mean,
Kind
it's
of childish.
yeah,
sometimes.
but it's reflective of the audience, the kids or the guys. Why it's called shonen and stuff like that, right?
Yeah,
Because
Right.
shonen literally means like
it's for
or
young
something,
kids
like a young boy.
or
Yeah.
young
Young
males.
boys. Yeah.
Yeah, but then you
Young
like
males is better.
you have anime that's on the complete opposite end of the spectrum, where it's for like young adults,
Like Psychopaths.
or it could be like really just messed up in general, like
Technolites.
NG, or that too, yeah, or like deconstructions
Or
of
G.
the genre, or
We don't need to.
melodramatic.
So there are more well-known anime that aren't just like shonen or like Naruto or something. Like I remember when I was younger, Neon Genesis Evangelion, I believe, was on Adult Swim.
Oh,
Yeah,
that
at one
must have
point.
gone well.
Oh, that's one of
I
the.
mean-
Yeah, I actually watched Neon Genesis Evangelion on Adult Swim at one point. It was the congratulations episode, and that was really confusing. I was like, why is everyone congratulating this kid?
Dude, they're congratulating you for finally finishing the series.
Oh, that was
Like,
the
good
first
job
episode
watching
I
one
saw on
episode.
Adult Swim. It's crazy. But
Yeah, that must have not. Man, that must have sucked back in the day when you kind of had to like tune into your favorite network to see a show, but you couldn't see it from the beginning all the time, or you miss episodes randomly.
yeah.
Right.
Imagine trying to start watching Dragon Ball Z from the middle.
Yeah. No, I think we can all agree on that. Like, I don't think anyone here has seen all the episodes of Dragon Ball Z. We've seen bits and pieces of
I have.
I've seen it 5 times.
it. Wow. Thanks for ruining my example, guys. Fuck you.
I'm a bit of an
Jeez.
anomaly, though. I mean, I'm a shonen fag, so I have to have seen it all. I tuned in every single school day. I got home, threw my stuff on the ground. Mom told me to do my homework. I told her no, and then I watched Dragon Ball Z.
Dude, what a rebel. My god. I can see that anime corrupted you at an early age. Jeez.
Wee bit hard.
I think my problems were a bit more than just anime.
Okay.
Oh, shit.
Looking down the list of let's just ignore what Smurf said. Looking down the list of popular anime, like it takes like a while before you get to the first non-action related anime. In fact, Toradora at rank 11 is the only one that doesn't have action. Like, yeah, I'm just looking through.
But it's still it's a good starter romance.
yeah.
Right.
No,
I've been
dude,
recommended it.
Like best love story of all time. Am I right, guys? Am
It's
I
like
right?
it's like all the others before. It's very accessible. It's very easy to get into.
Right.
Yeah.
It also actually finishes.
Yeah.
Oh, true.
It does have
Right.
a
I think
conclusion,
that's
unlike a lot of romance.
I think that's
anime.
another part for popular anime. I think with pretty much just the exception of Attack on Titan, most really popular anime for like casual fans do end, like Death Note. Like Sword Art doesn't end, but it doesn't have a bunch of open ends.
It wraps
At
up.
the end
It's
of
not
the
exactly
storyline.
very conclusive, but it does end.
Yeah, it doesn't leave a plot line.
It's not like a cliffhanger, really.
Exactly.
Yeah. I mean, only the hardcore anime fans can accept the fact that their series will never get a third season. Cough, cough, Index Season 3, cough, cough, Spice and Wolf Season 3, cough, cough, I can't say this other anime
Haruhi
because I'm
Season
going to
3.
get flamed for it.
Trying to trigger the entire audience.
Yeah, I'm going to trigger the entire audience. I gotta avoid
Yeah,
that.
Spice and Wolf
Just-
Season 3 is never going to happen. Just
Also,
to let you
High
know.
School of the Dead. Also, High School of the Dead Season 2, guys. That's definitely what everyone wants. Just saying.
I wouldn't mind it.
I would enjoy it.
I
Lenny
haven't
face.
seen the first season.
Ha ha ha.
Okay.
Yeah, you like my joke, eh? Thanks.
So going back to how we were talking about how it actually finishes, and you know how like some of these shows can span on for hundreds and hundreds of episodes with apparently no end in sight. But you know, this is catering to people, or rather, it's you know what I mean. The people that watch it are kids that have so much spare time, they don't know what to do with it. They're going to get hyped up for each episode weekly. These shows they sell so well, so they keep running.
Mm-hmm.
Right, and there are Western shows like I know like some examples of like anime that are going with no end in sight would be like One Piece, like
Naruto.
We have no idea when that's going to end. Well, Naruto hasn't. I mean,
well, I mean, they're still doing.
The manga's ended.
Out, but
yeah, but I mean, there are even Western shows that you have no idea when they're going to end. Like, I'm a little bit behind, but I have no idea when The Walking Dead is going to end.
Oh.
They might just drag that out forever because they make so much money off of it. So it's kind of similar. I think people, even in Western shows don't end most of the time. They usually go until they get canceled.
Yeah.
Or go until like they decide, you know, they need to end it because
no one's watching anymore.
Yeah.
Or yeah. I mean, I would say like some shows try and like steer towards an ending so that people feel like there's an end in sight, and then they keep going. Like maybe Game of Thrones might be like that. Like you don't know how long it could still technically be, even though it's at its 6th season now. So I'm hyped for that. Oh, we should probably start talking about anime instead of Western stuff, guys. We're in anime chat.
Sorry, guys.
Sorry, we all triggered you with our disgusting 3D PD shows. Sorry.
So I guess I'll use this as a segue to talk about another thing that I think can get Western fans into anime are shows that are very similar to Western shows, such as Cowboy Bebop.
Just trying that out. Yeah, it's extremely Western influenced.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I recommended it just the other day to somebody who wanted a first anime, and Cowboy Bebop. Start with that. It's familiar to you.
Yeah, just because like there's cowboy in the name, guys. It's totally a Western because it has cowboy in the name.
Well, and there's a bebop somewhere too.
It is West. It's a space Western. I mean, it is a Western.
There's tons of Western influences throughout the show. So yeah.
Right.
Yeah, Cowboy Bebop's actually a really good anime. I haven't finished it yet because I don't know why, but I really enjoy it. I can see why, especially because with the really solid dub that it has, a lot of Western fans are willing to take a chance and watch it. Because who knows, maybe some people actually aren't a fan of reading subtitles. Like Tatami Galaxy, for instance, has
that's a very extreme example.
Yes, subtitles, and they might see that and be like, "Oh, that I don't want to deal with that." Yeah, and then like they'll avoid stuff and they'll start focusing on dubs.
Yeah,
I actually do have a personal example for that. When I first watched Sword Art Online, I did watch it on Netflix dubbed, and when I finished it, I wanted more. Ran to my computer, looked up Sword Art Online Season 2, found out that Season 2 had aired in Japan literally hours before, like that same day.
Oh.
And I saw it on Hulu. I'm like, oh yeah, I'll watch more. And it was subtitled, and I was having a really hard time adjusting to the subs. So I put it off and went and watched Full Metal Alchemist, I think.
Oh, nice.
Which also has another solid dub. So I stayed with dubs for a while until I actually went into subtitles.
Yeah, dubs are really important because it's difficult for some fans to actually make the switch. I know that, for me, I was kind of awkward watching Attack on Titan, my first anime, like, subbed. I was just like, oh, why do I have to read? But then I kind of got used to it, and I was like, I just was okay mostly with the fact that the voice actors still had a really passionate, like, voice. Mm-hmm. And it made me feel that intensity, that emotion, which is really important when it comes. Like that's why I don't have to I can't just mute anime and just read the subtitles and watch it. Like I need to hear those emotions. Like when Kirito yells in Sword Art Online, I just love that. I need that in my life.
I need that Asada-san in my life,
Same.
That's emotion. Not the same emotion, but
It's emotion.
it is an It is an
It's
emotion.
there.
It's a good emotion.
Well,
Insert Lenny face here.
Okay. Yeah, so we were talking about dubs. Yeah, dubs are really important for casual. Let's talk about something else though. What about the purpose of these shows in relation to the anime in general? Like, we know that they're a way for people to get into it, right? They're like the gateway animes, right? I just said animes.
animes. But you're looking at this as in a text
Bad.
post. But I would be all over you.
Animu.
But what does it prevent people from going into series that are definitely more in depth and should be viewed by people? I won't name an example because it'll trigger people, but yeah, stuff like JoJo, for example, right? JoJo is amazing. It's fantastic. It's at standards everywhere, but it's not as popular, and I don't even know why. Actually, is it because everything it's done is already done by like casual shows?
It might fall into that trap. I know I've seen a lot of people criticize Dragon Ball Z, for example, which also set a lot of standards for just being way too generic a shonen, when in actuality most of the other generic shonen are kind of copying Dragon Ball Z.
Yeah.
But I mean, JoJo's by no means a mainstream show. At least not here. It isn't.
In Japan, it's really popular. It's loved
extremely
in
popular in
Japan.
Japan.
You see references of it everywhere in other anime as well.
Yeah, and I think maybe it's not as popular, maybe, or at least not in Western culture, because just hasn't been any kind of, until very recently, any kind of licensing here because of copyright issues with stand names all being named after music references, and not even just stands, like a lot of characters even.
I mean, this is the first, just recently, well, when it started back in 2012, was the first time it got its own actual anime, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was
Like a running anime, not like overs or something.
Yeah, it had OVAs in the 90s and the 2000s. It had a movie a few
And
years ago.
so that means that most people that would be exposed to it would be through manga, which really isn't that big in other countries.
Right, and I don't know if any of it was licensed in the West prior to the 2012 anime.
I mean, it's actually pretty surprising, to be honest. The series started in what, like 1990,
86.
1980? Oh my god, like that's a
Jeez.
long time ago.
It is.
Jeez. Why wouldn't people it took till 2012 to animate it. God. And then people don't watch it. And it's like, why? And whatever. I still feel like
it has been, and we're really getting away from our topic here, but
Yeah.
it has lost
it's fine.
since moving from Shonen Jump to Ultra Jump. It has lost a lot of its audience, so it is losing steam. I think that might be why the anime isn't as watched or like selling as well as stuff like. I mean, I'd say Madoka is a mainstream or casual anime, and I just saw earlier today that sold 71,000 copies.
Yeah, it's one of the highest selling anime. Like ever,
I think it's one of the top 5.
Yeah.
So, at risk of turning this into a Ghibli cast, what about like Spirited Away and Totoro?
Oh, good. Yeah, good one. Yeah, I think those are basically, when I was younger, I didn't know that was an anime movie because they're all licensed and dubbed and everything by Disney. I just assumed it was
like it's a Disney movie.
People love Disney movies.
I actually haven't watched any of those Ghibli movies, so I can't really comment on this. But I think it has probably universal themes that are generally easy for people to understand, and that really contributes to why it's very popular. Like, they can relate, because being able to relate to things is probably one of the biggest reasons things can like you care about it. Then if it doesn't resonate with you in any way, then you're not going to care about it. Like, if you watch a anime about high school kids caring about, getting to see the big drama show or something, and like the guys who are watching it are in their 40s or something like that, they're not gonna care. They're gonna be like, "What the fuck is this shit?" I just want to see the girl get her tits out. That way.
Same.
It's terrible.
And those
Oh,
shows
man.
exist. There are shows made for those people. Space Dandy might be one of them.
I mean, there must be a show for everyone, but for casuals, like, is there a casual show for them? That's becomes a hard question because they might get turned off the medium.
I think you can probably find a casual show for just about every genre that's liked.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
Like-
horror, go.
Horror?
Come on.
Tokyo Ghoul?
Don't tell. Is Tokyo
It's gotten
Ghoul
pretty
horror? I haven't seen any.
I
Um,
think
so
it's
I can't really say.
considered horror, but
It's
I don't.
sort of.
I wouldn't really call it a like. When I think of horror, I don't think of Tokyo Ghoul, but I think it has a horror tag on it.
It's got horror elements, I
Okay.
would say.
It's-
Right.
Yeah.
But
Oh, especially the beginning,
Yeah.
like the first episode.
but dude, guys.
I mean, I think everybody has feared whenever they go out on a date. I think we've all had that fear in the back of our mind, like, what if this chick eats me?
Oh yeah, I definitely had that pop into my head when I went on my many dates with real girls. Yes,
Real
indeed,
girls,
Smurf.
of course.
Definitely. I questioned myself. What if she eats me? What will I do? Oh my god.
You gotta think of these things.
Yeah, I gotta think of these
You
things.
gotta
What
be
happens when I
prepared.
go out
What
into
if-
the real world?
What if you're not prepared? You don't know what happens.
Yeah, thanks, anime, for teaching me how to deal with real life. Thanks. Where would I be without you?
Little deja vu.
Fuck you.
Dude.
Just stop.
Alright.
Oh, guys, we're going pretty far away from our main
Yeah,
topic.
we're getting pretty
Let's
fucking
get back to
weep
it.
here, guys. Come on.
So, okay. So the top. Well, let's talk about popular anime again. Oh yeah, I talked about this with you guys earlier, but before like we started recording, there's like different levels of casualness though within mediums as well. Like with mainstream, like there'd be the mainstream anime that everyone generally knows. And then there's the mainstream anime that the anime community knows, and then there's the anime that generally won't be talked about as much, right? So what do you guys think about anime like within that are mainstream within the anime community, right? Like stuff like K-On!, Kill La Kill,
Gurren Lagann.
yeah, Gurren Lagann,
Code Geass.
Chunibo,
Code Geass is a really
The
good
Devil
one.
is a Part-Timer. Like there's all these shows that are
Dakano.
like everyone on our anime probably knows about. And what do you think they add to to anime? Go, Dylan, go. Talk about it.
Well, I think that they may not. Well, the reason that because they're obviously not as mainstream as actual mainstream shows, right?
Yeah,
They're mainstream within the community, at least.
Exactly. So it's because they don't necessarily appeal to everyone. They might be a bit more niche or not. Yeah, they're not as presentable to everyone else. So they find their own reasons for people searching after, a particular sort of show.
yeah.
And this could be the best show that it has to offer. But for reason X, it's not. It hasn't reached widestream popularity.
So you're saying they appeal to fetishes? Is that right?
I mean, if you want to
Ooh.
say it like that, I mean, I guess it works, but
Yeah, that's definitely why School Days is at 200,000 people who have watched it, because it appeals to my.
As it's
I
so
think
controversial.
I think School Days is mostly because of the memes.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
no one's
it's a
talking
very
about it.
controversial show, especially with its memes and its ending and its characters, stuff like that.
Right.
Yeah. I feel like, yeah, you're right in that they appeal to certain types of people, and that's good, because they're solid shows, right? But I don't know. I feel like if people like start expecting these to be the pinnacle. Like they think that because they are more specific,
The most popular.
or like
You're talking about the other side. Yeah.
like in comparison to like the really mainstream stuff, right?
Yeah.
Like they think that because those are like a little bit less mainstream, that they're inherently instantly better, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like Attack on Titan versus like another action, or like freaking versus like like Sword Art Online versus Log Horizon, for instance, right? That's one of the most obvious differences, right? Sword Art Online is hugely popular. Log Horizon is like half the amount of people who watch it, but Log Horizon is popular within the anime community. You still see people compare the two directly, right? And a lot of people will tend to go make that popularity argument, right? Which, you know, it kind of isn't really that good, because you can't exactly correlate popularity with how good something is, and it works the opposite as well.
And Sword Art and Log Horizon, I mean, other
than trapped in a video game, they're not that similar.
It's really not that similar.
They go about things differently.
Exactly. I've always said I think a better comparison, and it's not trapped in a video game, but I feel like Is It Wrong to Pick Up Girls in a Dungeon is a lot closer, or Danmachi is a lot closer to Sword Art. It has a lot more of a Sword Art feel than Log Horizon.
Similar voice actors.
Yes, Hestia Bestia, am I right, guys?
Well,
the boob strings. Oh my god.
Dude,
Becker,
I wonder what happened. Like,
it's a ribbon. It's a boob ribbon.
I wonder what like the mainstream like non-anime viewers thought when they saw like an Oppai Lolly just like become the biggest thing on the internet for like a few seconds.
Well, my friends didn't.
Probably something along the lines of what the fuck.
My friends didn't bring it up, so I don't know how many of them actually saw it.
Oh man, I saw it everywhere. People were like, "Oh, guys, she has tits. Oh, and she's a little girl. Oh my god, anime is weird.
Oh my god, every anime fan is a pedophile. Oh my god."
Yeah. It reminds me why we got removed from RL because of that top 12 bathing scenes of 2014.
It's one of the best posts ever.
Oh my god. Oh, I'm glad we're not on RL. We have some messed up stuff on our subreddit. Just terrible things.
What about like Elfen Lied or Laid, whatever it is?
Oh, I actually haven't watched
that. That was the one. Neither. That was the one before Sword Art, which was like my friend came up to me at school and showed me a clip from it.
Is it the dog scene?
You know, people getting cut up. Yeah.
Yeah.
No. It was just her walk. The very start, which is walking down the hall and like everyone's getting cut up, and it's how
the beginning scene, right?
Yeah. And he just shows me. He's like, dude, this is the fucking greatest thing ever. So like, that was like, you know, that was years ago now, probably around 8 years ago or something.
Wow,
I think that's right. But yeah, so it was another mainstream show that I don't know. You don't really see people talking about it unless they're
rated
laughing at it.
I think 4 or 5 in popularity on Mal, if I remember correctly.
Yeah,
it's still pretty high.
Yeah,
I'm
a lot
not
of
gonna
people
watch
have
it, but
seen it.
It's at 9.
I can't watch it because you know it's edgy and forced and yeah.
Okay.
Alright, we're gonna just throw out buzzwords right now.
Yeah, guys, it's too melodramatic. I'm sorry, I can't deal with this.
It's kind of pretentious.
Stop trying to force this.
It's kind of pretentious too.
I can't watch deconstruction anime, guys. It's just too much. Can't deal with it. Okay, let's get back to another topic. So yeah, we talked about why they're popular, and their effects of being popular. Is there any anime that you'd want to actually become or appeal more to the casual market so that people actually watch it? Because definitely, when an anime, like certain anime, are more popular than others, it prevents people from watching them first, right? And that sometimes matters because, say, like old shows, they aren't as popular, and then they eventually fall out of relevance fairly quickly, which is unfortunate. Right. But so yeah, which shows do you want to be really popular and appeal to the casual audience?
Well, I mean, what is Hideaki Anno is already working on that by making the rebuilds.
Yeah.
For Evangelion, so that suits me pretty well. But on top of that, there's also a show like not many people watch it, like Serial Experiment Lane, which provides a commentary and it's got something more to it than just entertainment value.
Yeah, that's
So-
true.
So like more thought.
Which I won't get into because spoilers.
You want more thought-provoking shows to be mainstream.
Well, yeah, I mean, things that, they give you something more than just entertainment. They make you think. They,
More than
personality,
just
comfort zone, things like that.
more than just anime girls getting naked and being.
I mean, I want that too.
Yeah.
But that can wait until people know that anime is not just anime girls getting naked.
Exactly.
Hey man, don't ruin my dream.
A show that I would want to be more mainstream would be something that gets away from the generic shonen that people seem to associate anime with. I wish that Psycho Pass would be more mainstream because it gets away from that and it tackles some pretty mature themes, and it kind of shows that anime can be serious. It's not all kid stuff. It can be serious and mature without going too far and just being edgy.
Mm-hmm.
There's that word again.
But I feel like I'm using it.
Use it.
I feel like I'm using it in a proper way.
No, I mean that's fair enough. Well, actually, Psycho Pass is pretty popular. It's ranked 35 on the popularity list.
But
now.
I mean, when I'm talking mainstream, like it never. I feel like that would be a show that should air on Adult Swim, for example.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no, that makes sense. What about you,
It may
Becker?
It may have, I
If
don't
there's
know.
a show that I'd want to be like more mainstream, it would probably be like Mushishi or Technolines. Because both of the Mushishi and Technolines are both very mature series, and they're both very thought-provoking series. Kind of like what like Smurf said, they're very thought-provoking and they're like dark. They can get really dark, especially Technolines, without like being, I guess, childish about it. It takes itself very seriously, and it's not like comedic really at all. So yeah.
Okay,
Right.
well,
There's like that scene in Elfin Lied at the beginning, and some people may find that the
Disturbing.
like the blood and the violence might be taken as a little bit childish because she happens
It's
to
so
be
over
naked.
the top.
Or and the fact that she's naked.
Yeah.
So it's like, oh, now I see boobs. Now I can't take
Like
this seriously
immersion
anymore.
broken.
So,
Yeah.
right. Oh, I see. They're just doing this to appeal to younger kids because there's boobs and blood. Kids like
They
young
do it for
teenagers
shock
like
It's alright.
boobs and bloods. Yeah,
dude, you
Instead
don't
of
like boobs
actually-
and blood?
tackling themes. I'm not saying I don't. I'm just saying.
Okay. I guess I would like my favorite anime to become more popular just because I think it's a pretty good one. But then
What
I realized
is your favorite anime?
no, dude.
So close.
Dude, don't just casually say that.
Or
You're
you
gonna have to edit
didn't
this
mention
out.
what it was, so it's kind
No,
of
no, I meant use my name. Fuck you, guy.
You did say his name.
Ah,
We're going.
No, he's like our Stig. You're not supposed to know his name.
yeah. I'm mysterious, guys, in my long trench coat and my sunglasses and my
Some say
fingerless
some-
gloves.
Some say he gets triggered at the very mention of Origairu.
Oh God! Why the fuck did you just do that?
Alright, so, Dude Man, what is your favorite anime that you would like to be more mainstream and
Oh,
popular?
I'd love Origairu to be more mainstream, mostly because, specifically why the author wrote it was like, I don't like these people being weebs. No, he was serious about that. He was like, people need to learn how to grow up in a way that's actually like reasonable, because they think a lot about It's really hard to describe, but it sort of boils down to the major themes of the show. Like the guy is a loner, but in a way that points out that he's completely wrong, right? And the author kind of wants people to understand that you shouldn't be empathizing with him. You should be realizing his mistakes, because I learned this in like classes and stuff. But originally, a lot of stories were told mostly because you want people to learn from them, right?
Mhm.
Like you learn rather than having you do those experiences that teaches you things. You can read about stories about other people's experiences, even if they're fictional, and you can learn from those experiences as long as they're realistic and they make sense, right? And Origairu is one of those series that I think teach people something. Stop being like an edgy teenager. Freaking grow up. He wants you to grow up. That's why he's making this.
Well, I think you mentioned before that it kind of almost makes fun of light novels.
Yeah.
So
it does. He freaking hates light novels.
Would that be the series you want people to kind of start with without having
the
knowledge of light?
Yeah, it would be weird to have them start off with a parody of something. Almost, I guess maybe parody is not the right word, but something that's critical of it. You wouldn't want them to start out with that.
I guess.
That's like a small part. I just want people to watch it mostly for the themes present, because I think it's trying to like teach people stuff, and that's praiseworthy. Like, not a lot of anime tried to teach you stuff. Let's be honest. Like, you watch anime to see, the
not the mainstream ones at least.
You watch anime to see the nipple slip, guys. Just admit it.
It's not much of an accident, though. You can't really have nips.
Well, I mean, that depends on if it's being aired, censored, or not. If you know what I mean.
But I mean, nip slips are usually completely unintentional. You can't really have an unintentional nip slip that someone drew.
Right.
Hey man, don't, dude. Like, I can do that.
Don't break my immersion.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Alright.
God, I'm self-inserting to the main character. Ooh, that's a good point. What about self-inserts? Oh crap, I just hit my mic. What about self-inserts, guys? What do you think about those in relation to popular anime? Because a lot of popular anime have, for lack of a better word, self-inserts.
They're like bland, kind of boring.
Gary
I mean, not bland, but they're people like other people want
There's
to be.
not much outside.
Right? Like, you want to be Kirito. He's got a harem. He's
got like 2 blades and stuff. He's got like a trench coat and shit. Dude, he's the coolest fucker ever.
He wears all black and he's slick.
Yeah, he's a beater, guys. Saw a cheater and he beats stuff.
He's got a hot sister too.
I know. Cousins.
They're cousins.
Oh,
and they're not blood related. So are they
even
blood
better?
I believe
it's
they
anime,
are.
who knows?
I believe they are blood related.
But they're just cousins, so
It's
fine.
Still related. But
it's okay. He can go after her.
Still hot.
Oh god, I can only imagine what people were like when they watched Sword Art Online 1 and they were like, "Oh, this is fantastic," and then they get like halfway through the season.
Is that his cousin, like trying to? Yeah.
And then like, wait a second.
Wait a minute.
This is not what I signed up for.
One thing that I'm alright with is because it wasn't, it didn't go too far.
It wasn't creepy about it.
Like, it didn't go like really far to the relations. Like, nothing happened. So, and I also think one nice thing about it being in the second half is that by the time you get to that part, you know that Sword Art Online isn't about incest or like stuff like that. Like, you have a general idea of what Sword Art Online is about. You know, it's like an action show with a little bit of romance already.
That's what you think.
That's what I thought when I watched it.
Man, the Dojins have taught me differently. That's just
right, but
shout out to
that's not the show.
Good stuff.
I don't think people are going to be reading the Dojins prior or during their first watch of the show as a brand new anime fan.
Maybe they watched the anime because of the
How
Dojin.
did they get to Dojins in the first place?
Hey man, you look up porn. Like, there's a lot of stuff out there. Maybe you got into the Rule 34 of it, and you were like, "Hey, this girl's cute. Maybe I can find more of her." And then you found it, and then you're like, "Oh,
I gotta watch.
I wonder what the anime's like." Oh, we have 5 minutes left. Let's talk about Dojins in relation to casual anime.
That's a different body. That's the Our Anime Podcast After Hours.
Oh man, this is the best part of our anime podcast. Am I right?
I just wanted to say something. I find it interesting. We're talking about Casual Cast and the most popular, but we haven't even talked about Death Note.
I haven't watched
mentioned it. We mentioned it once or twice.
Yeah, but I mean, like, we didn't really. It's easily ahead of anything.
It's number
else.
one
Sword
on
Art's catching
popularity wise
for Mal. Yeah.
Right. I think it's because it people like Western audiences like crime dramas.
It's a really cool show.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, when he took that potato chip and then he
Dude,
ate
it's also
cool.
really memorable. I was gonna say, like, that scene is really memorable.
Right.
Yeah, I haven't even watched it, and I know about it because too many memes, guys.
But it is kind of like, yeah, people like, I mean, you look on Western TV, you see Law and Order, you see Criminal Minds, you see
Castle.
all sorts of crime shows. Yeah, you see all sorts of crime shows everywhere. People like crime
Progressive
shows.
pop dramas.
Like, Western fans like crime shows, and there is like a detective cat and mouse game going on in Death Note, and I think people can maybe not connect to that, but
They love
they
watching
find
that
it familiar.
stuff.
Definitely enjoy it.
It's
They
familiar
they
to
eat
them.
that stuff up.
Right.
Oh, yeah,
And
that makes sense.
And it has just that
I was
little
like-
supernatural twist, just that slight supernatural to it.
It's also
that
a really
people
interesting concept.
find new.
Like, Death Note's
Yeah.
concept is...
What would you do,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah, I was a little bit interested in Death Note when I first heard about it, because it's like, oh, you can just write someone's name.
You
in
can
this book
kill
and they
someone
die.
with a book. That's like...
And I was
what?
trying to figure out, like, one of the things that really perked my curiosity was, how do they even have an antagonist if you could just kill him with a book
Yeah.
instantly? Like, how
That's
do they?
the thing.
How do
You know,
do that?
you give these two characters this main stage,
Yeah.
and
So I like how you have the two characters. Neither of them know the other person's name.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's almost just like, I can find out your name before you find out my name.
yeah,
And
it's
it-
just trying to discern each other's identities to kill the other one first.
Right.
Oh, that's pretty hype. I should probably watch it. Thanks, guys.
Yeah,
I'm
you
gonna
should. Yeah, it's
add
pretty
to my plan to watch, and I'll never get around to it.
I'll bug you until you do.
Everyone's backlog ever.
Yeah, plan to watch never ends, guys. It's too many airing shows. And school and stuff.
I just watched 7 or 8
And
and
life.
one non-airing show at a time.
Oh, that's too hardcore for me, guys. I can't deal with that. Okay. Okay, we're about like at the hour.
We're about
mark.
an
think,
hour. I think it's.
we gotta
I think
wrap
this
it
is
up.
a good place to
So anything you want to say to the audience, guys? The whole 10 people that might listen to this. Come on, say
wrap up.
something.
I want to say there was one person who I know was looking forward to me talking about Bebop, and I did mention Bebop, so I hope you're happy.
Becker, what do you guys say?
I like Suga Dojins. Just gonna say that.
Oh, same. Anal Chasm, what about you?
I'd like to give him the benefit of the doubt that a whole dozen people will watch this podcast,
Oh,
not just the 10.
whoa.
Yeah.
Wow. Whoa, dude. You can't count your parents.
Come on, man.
And otherwise, not really. Cheers for watching, really.
Oh, okay.
If you actually made it this far.
Hey, yeah, I'm gonna say thanks for watching. Leave a comment, say what we did good. and what we did
Arigato
bad.
gozaimasu!
Give us
You fucking get the fuck out. God, why are we even talking to you? Guys, we're just gonna stop it right now. This is gonna go. Bye.
Alright.
Bye. God.
Alright, see ya.
Fucking weebs, honestly. I can't believe this shit.